If you want to play the newest AAA games on a powerful gaming hardware, well, you don't want the Asus ROG Strix Scar 15. You want a desktop or a bulky laptop that weighs 4 kilograms, requires multiple power bricks, and is basically a desktop PC in the shape of a laptop. But if you still want something you can realistically carry around, the Scar 15 is one of your best options out there. We've reviewed a number of Asus laptops this year that are members of the ROG Zephyrus gaming line, powerful while still portable and attractive. You buy a Zephyrus if you want decent gaming results, but also want an everyday work machine you could bring into the office or class. The Strix line eschews the latter role. These are gaming laptops. They are just for games. They're not cheap, they're not subtle, and they hold nothing back. Asus has revamped the chassis while keeping the familiar overall look of the Strix Scar series. The thick rear, large hinges, and front LED are still present, for example, but the rear is flatter and with a different texture, while the front LED are shorter in length around the sides. The right edge of the keyboard deck is also flatter and now semi-transparent, which is an easy way to distinguish the newer ROG models from the older ones. When taken together, the changes make the system appear sleeker and more luxurious without dropping any of the original LED features. All the chassis updates appear to be mostly visual, and so rigidity feels about the same as on the G532 for better or worse. The G532 wasn't of poor quality or anything, but it would have been great to see noticeable improvements nonetheless that are more than just skin deep. It's also largely plastic in construction, with only the lid clad in cool-to-the-touch metal. It is, however, much nicer in the flesh, so to speak, with a lovely silken satin finish to the keyboard deck and solid build quality all round. On Counter-Strike Global Offensive at maximum settings, the Strix Scar averaged 248 FPS. Thanks to this model's 300Hz screen, the chips aren't just rendering 248 FPS, you're actually seeing 248 FPS. You'll see a frame rate difference between this system and an identical one with a 240Hz display, albeit a small one. But to folks who play a lot of esports and first-person shooters, a small difference can matter. Overall, CS was a smooth experience. The Scar only dipped below 100 FPS once when I was running through a thick flurry of dust. Not all titles are able to take full advantage of the 300Hz screen unless you plan on bumping the quality settings down. The Strix put up 67 FPS on Shadow of the Tomb Raider's highest settings with ray tracing on Ultra. On Red Dead Redemption 2 cranked up to Ultra, the Scar averaged 54 FPS. Both games were quite playable on those settings without any stuttering or slowdown. Those results are right on par with the MSI GE66 Raider and beat the smaller Zephyrus G14 by a significant margin. The keyboard, as you'd expect given the gaming heritage of this machine, has all the RGB bells and whistles with per-key customization and an LED RGB light bar stretching around the front edge of the laptop that can be set to match it. There's even a short RGB strip set into the underside of the display, shining down on the vents at the rear of the laptop, and the laptop comes with spare shoulder caps that you can customize the look of the rear left corner with. The lights are just the start, however. This keyboard also employs Asus optical mechanical switches for that extra precise feel, and it's lovely to both type and game on with just the right amount of travel, a satisfying click to each keystroke, and a sensible layout. Number pad fans will bemoan the fact that Asus hasn't made the most of the 15.6-inch chassis here, but I prefer the roomier feel that this decision confers. The touchpad is spacious too and feels smooth and responsive under the finger. Connectivity is substantial, with a pair of USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports on the left edge and a single USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 at the rear, alongside another USB, a 3.2 Gen 1 port plus a gigabit Ethernet socket, one HDMI 2B port, and the system's DC power input. Wireless communications are handled by an Intel AX201 card, which delivers Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. What you don't get, as with other ROG Strix laptops, is a fingerprint reader or a webcam, but that's okay in my book. Most built-in webcams are a bit rubbish, and you can always use your phone camera to make calls if you leave your USB webcam at home. You'd expect this to be good given the components squeeze in. After all, you're essentially getting the fastest AMD CPU available right now, the 8-core AMD Ryzen 9, backed up by 32 gigs of system RAM, the best mobile GPU in the world in the NVIDIA RTX 3080 with 16 gigs of dedicated video memory, plus a rapid pair of 1TB PCIe SSD in RAID 0. However, I wasn't quite expecting how good it turned out to be. In nearly every benchmark we run, this Asus Strix Scar 15 came out on top. It's the fastest laptop we've ever tested, even outstripping last year's Alienware Area 51M. The bottom line is there are no two ways about it. The Asus Strix Scar 15 is the most impressive gaming laptop we've ever reviewed. From its CPU to its GPU, it outpaces the competition, and it does so at a price below $3,000. Although still expensive, this is remarkable. Add in a fabulous display and a wonderful keyboard, and you have the complete package, with the only thing to complain about being the lack of a built-in webcam and fingerprint reader. Given what a beast the Asus Strix Scar 15 is, however, I'm happy to overlook such piffling weaknesses. If you're in the market for the best gaming laptop money can buy, look no further. This is the laptop you've been waiting for.